to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually. Six officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Swift to start the drive. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Goff now looking to throw. He'll get this off to Swift. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. And here's a 6-year man, Austin Ekeler. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That play ended for a net loss thanks to Javon Hargrave. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing, Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 9 yards that time. Well, the Vikings have 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they have the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Ekeler will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Gone. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On second down, Swift. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Rolling to his right. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Goff a handoff here to Swift. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Cine. He's at the 50. The 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. To throw is gone. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Adam Thielen, a terrific wide receiver and synonymous with Minnesota football. You go back to high school, college ball in the state, and now his 9th season with the Minnesota Vikings. 10 touchdown catches last season. Makes a nice catch there.
Touchdown, Vikings! K.J. Osborne, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that, because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So now following the sack, often the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a 21-0 lead already, well, no need really to take any unnecessary risks. Open man is Osborne. He's got it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So still 14 yards to go, second down. Cousins now. Open man, he's got him to tight end Hockenson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the red zone now, Cousins. And it's caught. Touchdown. Justin Jefferson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it is 28-0. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. And he's got some space here. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for Minnesota. 54 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20. He stiff arms him. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamal Williams, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage, Cousins. And that is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Right back to Swift again on second down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all. And it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted to taking it right down Broadway. 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that discipline.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
This is Swift on the counter. 75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
3rd and 2, Goff. Man open, it's St. Brown, he's got it. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass and they get 12 yards out of it. Now a first down throw, Goff. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play. Throwing again on 2nd down. Goff, throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. From the red zone now, Goff. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This is caught. And in for the Lions touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, did the Lions get it? Yes, they recover. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And it's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Pick up a 38.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. It's Ekeler again. And this play is going nowhere as he dives to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. 3rd and long for Cousins. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. Goff now looks to throw. And now here's another interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Cousins here to throw. That is caught by Thielen. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today when you're in that.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Got to be feeling confident they're going to get off the schneid. An old coach told me he calls this a relief win. 0-3 would have been bad. You get to 1-2, you feel a lot better, don't you?
That is so true, and you feel better about yourself. You think to yourself, okay, we're still.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And that will write a finish to this ball game. The Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Vikings, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.